Hello, Andrew. Welcome to Queerly Beloved, my friend.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
It's so fun to be doing this in person. This is my very first time doing this, a maiden voyage of in-person interviewing. So thank you for inspiring that. It's going to be kind of interesting. I feel like watching the video, like paying attention to the video and where the microphone is, but I think ultimately we're going to forget all about that, or I am anyways.
I know. I'm just gonna look at you if
Okay,
that's
that works.
okay.
Yeah, that totally works. That totally works. So yeah, let's begin and let's start with the first question I ask all my guests, which I didn't share with you as I do some of my guests before we went on. It's a creative question and it's a fun question, and it is to tell me who you are in this moment, but tell me by describing the perfect drag avatar that embodies that.
Oh my God. Oh my God. The perfect drag avatar that embodies who I am
In this moment,
in
on this
this.
day. It
Oh my
doesn't have to be like a
God.
RuPaul's Drag Race queen, but it certainly could be.
I'm so overwhelmed with the potentials and possibilities.
Let me know if you want me to start. Okay.
If you want me to start.
I can start. I can go do mine first if you like.
Oh, well, sure.
Okay, let me breathe into it. Yes, on this day, on this Friday, I am feeling like this kind of rainbow bright. I'm feeling this like rainbow bright avatar. And it's in part because I just came from a hot Bikram yoga class and I'm still getting accustomed to all this color on my skin, right? I just finished this tattoo. And so in Bikram, I'm staring at myself, checking my posture, checking my positioning. And so I'm with myself and my body. I'm shirtless and I'm aware of all this new color on my body. And so I'm feeling connected to all that brightness and that color that is on my skin in this moment, but also is shining through in other ways. I also just launched a new Awakened Hearts retreat. So I've got other things that are like shiny in my field, right? And I'm just feeling this kind of shiny, bright beam of light that's coming through and it's multiple colors. And so this queen is I'm seeing her wearing this very flowy rainbow dress and it's almost like her dress is made of rainbows. So it's like a
Mm.
flowy dress made of rainbows and she from the top up she's like shirtless male chest and she's got like a flowy unicorn kind of mane of rainbow hair, like hair made out of rainbow. And yeah, and she's got these beautiful light blue eyes, and she's just twirling and dancing and shining her light.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the dress made of rainbows.
Yeah, thank you. Me too.
I was just envisioning just like a lot of white
Mm,
and flowy, long brown hair.
mm,
And but when and this is like a great segue for what I think we'll be talking about today, because when you say who I am today, well, I'm like,
mm,
well, I am one with source. I am one with all that is, and that's true
mhm,
every fucking day.
mhm,
So, like but today it's all I've experienced a lot of emotions already
mm,
today, a whole lot of emotions, a lot of
mm,
super happy emotions where like, oh my gosh, my mind is blown. Like
mm,
this thing unfolded in a way so much better than I could have ever imagined
mm.
with two of my top business partners. Like,
Wonderful.
and and then also just feeling some heaviness today at points.
Mm,
And so I'm like, how would that fit in the drag? It's like now I'm seeing like I'm in this white flowy dress and like I've like got like an anvil in one hand and I'm just able to hold it all. And then
mm.
just like a lightning rod in the other hand, just like
Yes.
so
Mm.
that's my drag
I love it.
for
She's so
today.
powerful. Yeah, I
Yes.
love that. Mm. Yeah, so let's get into that because we've already teased it. This idea of I am one with source, I am one with all that is. Share more about how you hold that belief, how you embody that. And yeah, and in what ways does that impact your life, your day to day? I know it's a big question to start, but
Yeah.
she brought it, this queen. She invited it in, so we're gonna go there.
Whew. So, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Well, it's been something I've been practicing for a long time,
Hmm.
and it's something that I hold and embody. No 2 days look the same. Every day is completely unique,
Hmm.
which is very trippy.
Hmm.
So slowing down for me is so important a lot. Like you know me, I'm the self-proclaimed like slow down king. Like that's I was like I don't know if I've ever had a full hour-long conversation without slowing down and taking deep breaths at some
Hmm.
point.
It's okay. If you need to
But
take some breaths, we can make time for it. It's okay.
so, so much of it is perspective. It's
Mm.
perspective. How many masterful people do you know who have spoken about the now moment is all we have? Like
Hmm.
I'm not the first person that has said we are one with source,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
And I learned that from other people.
Sure.
And then and there's so many masterful people that have come before me, you know, like Eckhart Tolle,
Sure.
Buddha, Jesus Christ, and like, you know, all these principles, the kingdom of God is within. And so I've always thought like, well, what is it like to actually live this and believe
Mm.
this? Like people talk about these things because they're meant to be lived and
Hmm.
practiced,
Hmm.
not just like talked about and then forgotten about when we go to work
Hmm.
or when it's time to make money or pay bills
Hmm.
or have a relationship with somebody. It's like
Hmm.
I've asked myself this for a long time. What does it mean to actually apply this to every single aspect of my life? Like
Wow.
eating, food, indulgences,
Hmm.
if I'm choosing to watch porn or not.
Hmm.
And yeah, I know that.
Yeah, no, it gives me a lot to work with in that what is so exciting to me in what you describe and what I've been able to observe and learn from you, as a mentor, as a teacher of mine, is this level of commitment to embodying the belief or the paradigm of we are one with source. And an easier way for me to look at it, and maybe it doesn't resonate with you, but it's to be seeing the world through a spiritual lens on the day to day, on the minute to minute, right? And I feel like for my path and many other folks I know who are committed to a spiritual path, they, I'll just speak for myself. I will find opportunities to see through the spiritual lens, and especially if I'm really struggling with something, I'll be like, okay, how can I pull up and really see this from a spiritual lens? And I also will see something through a spiritual lens when there's a great miraculous thing that happens or some fabulous synchronicity. And I'm like, wow, spirit is so present. But what I see you doing differently is it's a next level commitment where it's like everything is through a spiritual lens, like every moment is through a spiritual lens. And that's what I feel very inspired by is that level of minute to minute commitment to I'm seeing this through a spiritual lens because I know that I am source and all is source.
Hmm. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. And I wonder, how would you define what does it mean to see things through a spiritual lens? If I can ask you a question.
Oh, well, so I would say you can absolutely ask me questions. I would say that it's seeing things through this lens of I am source and all is source and everything that is happening is source, which put another way is I am God and all is God and everything that is happening is God and God's work. And put another way is I am love and all is love and everything that's happening is love at work, love in action, love in play.
Hmm.
And yeah, I mean, so I think when I think that that's a concept that people can understand mentally, but to embody is where the real challenge comes. And so I'd love for you to share about how that's been for you to apply that spiritual lens and that idea of I am love. Actually, first of all, does that resonate with you?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna say for all of those are true, and the one thing that had to be true for me
Mm,
was like God has to be love.
mm,
Like
mm-hmm,
like because I've had lots of moments where I was struggling with my faith and
mm-hmm,
things and like I remember praying to God like, okay, God, like I'm gonna believe in you. I'm gonna give you all I've got on one
mm-hmm.
condition if you are an unconditionally loving God.
Nice.
Like
Mhm.
if you're not love, God, like I can't.
Set me free.
But God, and so, but that was, a little while ago. And I don't remember it's anyway, so
And were you able to, when you made that cry, that prayer to God, I'm here, I'm yours, if you are unconditional love, what did you what was the next step there for you?
um I mean I can't even remember exactly when that was,
Mm,
like because I've made that prayer many times,
sure.
like I might have literally been coaching you at the time when I was
Sure.
making that prayer and it's
Sure.
like
Mm,
having, because I told you behind the scenes other faith stuff I was having.
sure.
But for me, I'll share kind of how I'm seeing things now even
Great.
more clearly that is helping me embody it more.
Beautiful.
So if God is love and God created all of us, love created all of us, God created him, humans like himself. Love created love like itself. So like we are all love at the core.
Hmm.
Like we can't be anything but love.
Hmm.
And I love when I think about Christ and the second coming metaphor, like I love, it's like it already happened. The
Hmm.
second coming already happened. That love, unconditional love, Christ energy has risen up in so many people all over
Hmm.
the world.
Hmm.
And from my understanding, Jesus said we are going to do miracles just like he did and even more.
Hmm.
And I think we already are.
Hmm.
Depending on how we look at it, we already are. Like
Hmm.
we're navigating so much in today's world in the human realms that
Hmm.
Jesus didn't even have to think about.
Hmm.
And so it takes a lot of mastery to be a loving, sovereign being,
Hmm.
to lead others to access more of their love, which you do so great.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and so the way I see it, like, and we'll talk about the 5D perspective a bit. Like, there's a
Yeah.
lot of I've heard about people talking about 5D for years, but I
Hmm.
really just started getting it like this the last 6 or so months. But
Hmm.
it's being able to understand, like, yeah, it's all love. Like, if someone's angry or upset, it's coming from love.
Hmm.
If someone's and this is where it's like I've asked myself the tough questions, like
Hmm.
if someone's whatever it is, like it can't be conditional. So that means if someone's literally murdering someone,
Hmm.
there is love in that.
Hmm.
And that's where people are like,
Yes.
whoa, like, but it's so the way I see it, it's love is rising up in all of us
Hmm.
all the time, every moment of every day. More love has risen up in the world
Hmm.
now than there was since we started this podcast. Like
Hmm.
the world is more conscious and more loving now than it was 10 minutes ago.
Wow. Hmm.
And when I think about that, that's trippy and amazing. But we were born into these human bodies
Hmm.
with these human perceptions and
Hmm.
these human realities and human minds, and our minds are just trying to respond to the love that's rising up in us.
Hmm.
And sometimes we don't fully know how to do it in a way that feels loving. Like,
Hmm.
and so because we're human and we also identify with our human body
Hmm.
and we identify with the human bodies of our loved ones,
Hmm.
we want to protect ourselves and we want to protect our family.
Hmm.
And so that's been one easy thing for me to understand. Like, if anyone's doing anything that, like murder,
Hmm.
really heinous things, or
Hmm.
they're somewhere down the line, they think that that's what they need to do to
Mm,
live a better life for themselves or to help someone else have a better life.
mm,
And a lot of times and that's where like I also aim to be completely non-judgmental.
mm,
It's been part of my journey to just know like I can't know what someone else's soul journey is.
mm,
Um, People get to be responsible for their own decisions.
mm,
I think we're all sovereign adults.
mm.
I mean, I'm talking about adults, there's children in the world, and that's a whole other
Sure, sure,
dynamic. And also the principles still apply, but maybe there's more nuances to talk to.
sure,
But I think we have an adult audience.
sure.
Uh, but I always think about the people who are parents and they have
Yeah.
young kids and they're like, well, what about
Okay, yeah,
so
yeah.
my mind always goes to like
Mm.
how people because it
Are gonna poke holes at the
yeah
idea,
because
yeah.
I know I tend to talk big themes, right?
Sure.
And I know it's as you know it's all there's a thousand more there's thousands of moments that happen each day and there's thousands of
Mm,
ways these can be applied.
of course.
I don't feel like I fully answered your question,
You answered a
but
lot of
okay.
questions. So speaking of poking holes, I can imagine a person listening to this might hear that bold statement of there's more love on the planet just in the time that we are recording this podcast, that love is ever growing, right? And I think that a hole I could see someone pushing back at is, yeah, but when we look at the news today, there's so much chaos and so much trauma, and there's just today there was like a fight in the Oval Office, right? And so at the highest level of leadership in this country, we are seeing something that most people would identify not as love. And so what is it
Hmm.
that helps you feel like you can hold on to this belief or this way of being that love is always growing?
Hmm.
What kind of proof do you look to? Where do you find results that help you stay solid in
Yeah.
that perspective?
For me, like what is in my actual reality and my actual lived reality?
Mm,
Like, who are the people I'm actually talking
mm,
to? The people I'm seeing? Am I
mm,
having loving experiences with them?
mm,
Am I seeing the people in my life thrive in like new ways?
mm,
And for me, it's like, and it used to not always be this way. So that's why I had to practice so much faith. A lot of it was practicing faith without evidence.
yes. Mm,
So that's one piece. I've practiced a
mm,
lot of faith without evidence,
mm,
which is kind of, the magician that we've
yes.
talked a lot about in our work
Yes.
together.
Mm,
But now it's like, so with the news and stuff, and also, I believe above all else, I have to burp.
it's
I
fine.
believe above all
It's love.
else,
It's love.
it
It's a
is
love
love.
verb.
It is love. And that's another funny thing, like, because I believe like every day of our life can feel like the best day ever because we're growing more conscious every day. We get to have new wisdom and we're the sovereign creators of our reality. And the more conscious we are, the more joy and love and abundant feelings we can create.
Hmm.
And so I've literally had thoughts of like, oh, that means anytime I burp or fart, it's like the best burp ever, or it's the best fart ever. It's the best trip to the bathroom I've ever had in my life. Like,
Wow.
like,
Wow. 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 Wow.
and I'm not, yeah. So it's just fun things to think about for
Sure.
me. And it's not like I think about that every single time I burp or
Mm.
fart.
Sure.
But
But that there's a opportunity in every new moment, and it is about coming back to the moment. This moment is the only moment. And when we are able to connect with that level of presence, then that does make sense to me that it would be easier to hold on to this perspective that love is ever growing, even
Mhm.
when someone else might be staring at the news and feeling the exact opposite.
Right. And one thing for politics that has been so helpful for me,
Mm,
so helpful, has been really trying to come to a true place of understanding
mm,
of both sides.
mm-hmm,
And so I've I met my husband volunteering for Bernie Sanders in
Oh, that's
2016.
right.
So
Mm.
I was like very like I was a hardcore Bernie Sanders supporter.
Hmm.
Like I felt so much rage and anger towards the main candidates that were not Bernie Sanders.
Hmm. Hmm.
And now as it was coming along this time, I'm like, and there are like major players, you
Hmm.
know, there was Joe Biden, there's Donald Trump, there's RFK Jr.
Hmm.
when he was running independent, there
Hmm.
was, and then
Yeah.
Kamala Harris.
Hmm.
And I was like, what I was wanting to see the perspectives and like people were really voting for Joe Biden. People were really gunning for Trump. People were
Yeah.
really gunning for RFK Jr.
Yeah.
Everyone that's really cheering for someone, they're doing it because they think that person's going to be the best person to lead the country.
Hmm.
It's coming from love.
Hmm.
You could also say, yeah, there's lots of fear.
Hmm.
There's,
Hmm.
oh, people were voting for Joe because it was like anyone but Trump, so it was fear. But
Hmm.
and it was coming from love ultimately at the core, and then obviously
Hmm.
Kamala.
Hmm.
And I made a prayer that I was like, I want to feel unconditionally peaceful and happy and loving towards all of the candidates, no matter
Hmm.
who wins.
Hmm.
I want to be able to feel like, because I also was reminding myself, and I know there's a perspective like, well, yeah, you're privileged, so of course you can make that
Hmm.
statement.
Hmm.
And I also believe every sovereign adult, no matter
Hmm.
what skin color you are, no matter what sexuality you are. Like we all have
Hmm.
the ability to sovereignly create our own heaven on earth experience through our mind and
Hmm.
consciousness. And so I knew that no matter who became president, like my own continuing to have the best days of my life is completely up to me. If
Hmm.
the person I really wanted to win won, it doesn't make my life any easier. If the
Hmm.
person I didn't want to win won, doesn't make my life any harder.
Hmm.
Um, and in the news, it's like when I see something and I don't spend a lot of time looking at the news anymore. I used to a lot. And what I would just, so what I would just tell someone is remember that like your life is here to be enjoyed.
Hmm.
Like everyone's life it's like your life. It's no one else's life but yours.
Hmm.
It's here to be enjoyed. And it's it's yeah, I mean there's so many it's such a sensitive topic
Yeah,
and
sure,
I
sure.
know there's like so everyone has different perspectives and stuff and so it's hard for me to say
Hmm.
like blanketly how to approach it.
Sure.
Um but like I can see why a lot of really 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 loving people
Hmm.
voted Republican. I
Hmm.
can see why a lot of really, really, really loving people voted Democrat.
Hmm.
And it's like it's and I can see the perspective of like pick your poison
Sure.
and it's like which news are you watching? Is the news sharing the whole side of the story? Because
Sure.
when I was really looking at both sides, it was kind
Hmm.
of eye-opening to me.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
like one side has just completely said this side is the
Yeah.
devil,
Hmm.
and it just feeds that narrative and it tries to make you hate the other side.
Hmm.
Like I've seen some stuff on MSNBC that I completely disagree with, like
Hmm.
where a moderator was basically telling people in the LGBT community that, oh yeah, if you have a relative who voted Republican and then just boycott your family.
Wow. That's not,
And I'm like,
yeah.
that's like a
That's
Harvard
a,
trained psychotherapist
wow.
saying that and spreading this divisive message.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, and it's not so black and white where
Hmm.
like I just don't buy the narrative that anyone who voted Republican hates gay people and is
Yeah.
attacking gay people.
Yeah.
Like you could if you want to play devil's advocate, okay, anyone who voted depending on what research and what story you go
Hmm.
to, and I know a lot of people won't like this, but it's like
Hmm.
a, a Republican might say anyone who voted Democrat is like trying to poison children with
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
unmoderated vaccine
Hmm.
schedules,
Sure,
you
sure,
know?
sure.
So it's
Yeah.
like it's
There's lies on both sides for
Right,
sure.
right.
Yeah,
And there's and no side is it you could anyone you could make like 100-page documentary and novel about how each side is so evil, so
totally.
corrupt, and
Hmm.
so terrible. It's like, but is that the fun thing to do and the fun thing to focus on?
And is that the solution too, right? It's like when one of the last interviews I had was with Micaiah, who you know, and we spoke a lot about bridge building rather than bridge burning, and that's we're in a world right now with a lot of bridge burners. Like the
Yeah,
MSNBC host, you know, is a great example of that. Like that people think that the solution is to completely distance and create more division because they're so shocked and horrified by the actions of others. But
right.
what's a different way that we can do it?
Yes, and this is okay. And at the same time, I'm so glad there are activists.
Sure.
I'm so glad
Yeah.
there are activists that are blowing whistles that
Yeah.
are
Yeah. Yeah.
when like someone in I when like the Iowa I again I'm not the most reversed in what's actually happening, but I think I saw like an Iowa Republican person legislature like they passed a bill to get rid of like civil rights protections for trans people in
Yeah.
Iowa.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad people are protesting that and
Yeah.
stuff. This is what I had to do when I was so into the Bernie Sanders thing, and because it was so easy for me to watch the
Mm.
news. What
Mm.
I told my and but watching the news and getting mad about it and just posting angry shit on Facebook doesn't
Mm.
help anyone.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
doesn't really help anyone.
Mm-hmm.
If you really care, if you're so angry that you really care, it's like for every 30 minutes you're going to spend watching the news, volunteer for 30
Mm.
minutes.
Take action.
Like actually take action. And when
Mm.
you're doing that, you're going to meet people who
Mm-hmm.
think similarly to you,
Mm-hmm.
who you're probably going to get along with really well. And
Mm-hmm.
I met my husband that way.
Yeah. So there might be some fun in that. There might be
Exactly.
going back to this joy.
Exactly.
We're meant to
It's
enjoy this life. So how can we
exactly.
find joy in our protesting, in our activism?
Exactly.
Mm,
And I've had so much joy in that and like volunteering, going
yeah.
knocking on doors and
Yeah. It's a much more
yeah,
empowered approach. Yeah,
exactly.
much less of a victim approach and more of an empowered approach. I love that.
Right.
So let's move on from politics back into it's still another potential like poke at this perspective, right? Which I really appreciate that when you're describing your drag avatar, you also mentioned that there, in addition to the beauty and expansion and excitement and joy that you've experienced today, you've also experienced heaviness. And so I'm curious about how you wrap your head and your heart around some of these more challenging emotions like heaviness and how they fit in with this idea that we are living heaven on earth.
Hmm. So from the heaven on earth perspective, from the 5D perspective, it's like all is well, like all is good right
Mm,
now, no matter what's happening, like everything is love.
mm,
Whether this body is here in an hour or not, like
mm,
everything is love.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Like the soul lives on, you
mm-hmm,
know. And and so it's part of it's like getting to enj see the beauty in it.
mm-hmm,
And
mm,
and it's something I'm still getting even better at, but I was telling so having coaches is really helpful, first of
mm-hmm,
all. Like
mm-hmm,
I was in a session with the person serving me right now. And Ted Smith, who you
mm-hmm,
know.
mm-hmm.
And it's funny, like, okay, this is silly. But I was having the thought like when I was in my like stuff, I feel like everyone in my life is happier than I am. And
Mm-hmm.
so like I just like voiced it
Mm-hmm.
and allowed myself to say I feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
But part of it's knowing that I can have feelings and thoughts, but these are not permanent
Uh-huh.
and they don't define me. Like
Uh-huh.
so it's having it's having like a higher awareness of yes, I'm
Mm,
having thoughts of sadness, or
mm-hmm,
yes, I'm having feelings of annoyance.
mm-hmm,
I'm feeling judgment towards someone or towards myself right now. And I know it's all happening for me. It's all
mm-hmm,
rising up within me so that it can be recreated in
mm,
the light in a higher form of consciousness.
mm.
And and it's and it's all yeah, like and so it's being able to have a higher awareness that it's there's nothing wrong that I'm feeling this
Yeah.
way, you
Mm,
know? And again, it's easier said than done sometimes.
sure.
But the better we get at it, the longer we practice it, the easier it gets.
Mm. Beautiful. And I also love hearing that for you, it has obviously taken time to get to this level of embodiment. And you're still on that path towards more embodiment, right? Towards more being closer to enlightenment, we might even call it, right? When we're talking about living in this presence of God and acknowledging it in every moment, that is moving up towards enlightenment, right? And so I appreciate you expressing that even within this committed perspective, that there's a way to still be with that possibility of challenging negative thoughts are still part of it. Yeah. And we are not our thoughts and we are not our emotions and they are not permanent. And there is something of value in having them. There's still love boiling up in having them. One of the things that I thought of when you were sharing this was because it relates back to this idea of everything, all is well. And another way to say that is all is perfect, right? All is perfect exactly as it is right now.
Hmm.
And the closest I've ever come to understanding that truth in my head and in my heart was with the assistance of 5-MeO DMT. But there was a moment where I was like trying to have the right music for my experience. You know, it's a very short experience. And I was in this very sacred space, held in a circle with these two amazing medicine women who were serving me. And I was, trying to make sure that my mat was perfect and the music was perfect and everyone was praying in the perfect way. And everything was like all my preferences were in place so that I could have this like pristine experience. And then like something happened with the music. I don't know, it was like the wrong music or something. And so what happened in that moment though was like this realization that no matter what had happened, that it was all perfect. And it was like it hit me like a ton of bricks of just like it is all perfect no matter what. And I literally was in a bathtub. Like after I got back from the retreat, I was staying at a friend's place in San Francisco, and I like was in the bathtub sobbing for hours. And like for days
Hmm.
after that, anytime I would think about that concept that it's all perfect, I
Mm.
would just stop. It was like it was like so much for my conscious to wrap itself around, and it still is. And it's very hard for me to go back to that level of knowing that I had it, in that moment, of course, and in the days that followed. But because I had such a profound experience, I'm able to still recall it logically. But it feels like something that I see in you is that you're able to embody it more onto the day to day. Yeah.
Mm. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, does that inspire any other thoughts around it's all perfect,
Well,
or even moving more into the 3D, 4D, 5D,
so you sharing that now is it's what's present for me is where I have even more opportunities to embody it even more.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that's the beautiful part of it
Mm.
is and it yeah, it's
Mm.
So one thing that I've been realizing more is how many extra thoughts I have in a day
Mm,
where I'm trying to think about something in the future or wondering
mm,
what somebody else might think. And I even told you this, like this is my first time doing a podcast in a really long time.
mm,
And I was like, what are all the hundreds of people gonna think?
mhm,
And when you were said you were in the bathtub crying, it's like when we look back at our past and think of like how much we resisted things or struggled or worried about things,
mm,
and then it just turned out to be okay.
mhm, mhm. Like so okay.
Like how
Like
much
so well. Like so fucking
how
well.
much energy and time did we spend stressing
Mhm,
that, but and I could say that we didn't need to, but we did. And so
mm,
it's all perfect that we did that in the past.
mhm, mhm,
And so like you said, well you said it's taken me a long time to get to the level of embodiment I am now,
mm.
and that's absolutely true for everybody.
Sure. Yeah.
Whatever everyone's embodying, like we're all the culmination of our life's experience, like right here, right now.
Hmm.
Uh,
And perhaps past lives experience as well, and
yeah,
perhaps, yeah,
yeah,
ancestors' lives experience as well. It's a lot. It's a lot lead
yeah,
up to this moment.
yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, we could talk about how the 3D, 4D, 5D,
Yeah, one piece that I wanted
2D.
to pull back to, I just recalled, is this thing that I heard you say around practicing it before you fully had that faith. It's almost like a fake it till you make it
Mm,
kind of thing. Can you share a little bit more about how that has been for you? Like how do you kind of trick yourself
mm.
into it's almost like trick what the way I'm receiving it is almost like tricking yourself into faith.
Okay, so I wouldn't say it's necessarily tricking myself. It's like what do I want to believe in? You
Mm,
know? What like and I've taken a lot of times looking at principles and learning how energy works too.
mm-hmm,
Like I've studied like Bruce Lipton and
mm-hmm,
a lot of energetics too, and
mm-hmm.
law of attraction, all those things, Abraham Hicks. And yeah, yeah, I
Well,
don't
what's
fully have
coming
the
up for me, what
words.
just came up for me as you explain that is that perhaps it's a matter of recognizing this is possible. People are talking about this, people are writing books about this. This has been these concepts and ideas have been passed down and have been present for humanity for a long time. And I don't know for sure that they are absolutely true, but I would like them to be. And I'm going to choose to move into faith around them and see like
Yeah.
almost as an experiment or something.
Yeah. And I think and you're really great at doing this with me. Like, you're really great at like finding the holes that I haven't quite found the words to explain yet.
Sure.
But I think it's also a matter of what are we focusing on?
Yes.
Because sometimes the evidence is the evidence actually is already there in countless, countless, countless ways.
Mm-hmm.
And when if, yeah, so I'm also finding it's more challenging for me to talk about the past and the future now than it used to be.
Wow. Wow.
Like,
Interesting.
yeah, like for energetic attraction coaching, we were leading a new, like aligning with your dreams and visions. And I
Uh,
used to always feel like, imagine like 3 months from now, a year from now, where you're going
uh.
to be out. I can't do it anymore. Like my
Wow.
body won't let me. So, but I can help people invoke power and sovereignty right now,
Yeah.
like access the power, the love, the radiance you already have within you
Mm.
now and feel it more now and amplify it more now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm.
so okay, this was a helpful thing for me
Mm.
because I had a lot of stuff around, okay, what if God does punish gay people?
Mm-hmm.
What if that's true?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had the this is going to be advanced stuff.
Yeah, great.
So, okay.
We've already done some pretty advanced
Okay.
speak.
Okay. I realized I was like, well, even if that is true, if I were to just go and divorce and try to date a woman now, I would have been doing it from an energy of just trying to get it right so that I
Hmm.
wouldn't get punished.
Hmm.
That wouldn't be the highest sovereign energy. That would have
Hmm.
been like that little obedient child.
Hmm.
And so it's like, okay. And or if hell does exist and gay people go to hell, well, what do I know about living life on earth now and
Hmm.
peace and joy and how to and I understand whatever if I'm in a peaceful and joyful energy when I create something here on earth, I get to
Hmm.
stay in a peaceful, joyful energy with that creation, with that relationship.
Hmm.
And I know like energy attracts like energy. The more peace and joy I'm embodying, the more peace and joy other people around me get to have.
Hmm.
And they also help me have more peace and joy.
Hmm.
And yeah, I'm just kind of rambling
Yeah,
now.
no, I mean,
But
again, I feel like what we're talking about is the power of presence, the power of this present moment. And then when we apply this message of we are meant to experience joy on this planet, then how do we go about playing that game of enjoying this present moment? And sometimes we might be playing that game with this idea that you go to hell if you are gay. So, okay, I'm still going to play the game of like, I'm going to be as joyful and at peace as I can in the present moment, but I'm going to do it even with that information right here, right? And how is that going to impact it? But maybe I can actually let go of that possibility and really just commit to this other paradigm. And it's like it's a lot of like playing with different possibilities, but continuously coming back to the present moment, to the spiritual lens, or the knowing or embodying that I am source and everything is source. And then the third piece would be coming back to this commitment to living the most joyful life possible.
yeah, yeah.
Those feel like three tenets of this idea of living heaven on earth,
Yeah,
living the best day ever.
yeah. And
What am I missing, or what am I? Yeah.
so so in my framework, and it's also for a lot, like I know a lot of times when people hear me talk, they think I sound selfish sometimes
Mm,
now, and
interesting.
like I don't care about the mishaps or the challenges other people face.
Sure, especially when we think about, well, it's just our job to be as joyful as possible. It's like, yeah,
Right.
well, what about the people who are being
Right,
ostracized and oppressed? And yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And what I believe is the most peaceful, joyful version of ourselves is the most positively impactful version of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like the version of ourselves that makes the most positive impact in the lives of others is the part of us that has is experiencing the most peace and joy. And
Mm,
people have heard like you gotta put your own mask on first.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm.
so the three pillars of my framework are peace, presence, and pleasure. So
Mm-hmm,
peace is the first one, and
mm-hmm,
so it in a summary, it's like radical acceptance.
mm-hmm.
Radical acceptance of everything that is happening right here, right now.
Yes.
If we're resisting something that's happening in this moment, if we're judging it, if we feel like it's not good, or if we just can't accept it, then
Mm-hmm,
we're not gonna be at peace. Like, and
mm-hmm,
it's like what we resist persists, right?
mm-hmm,
Uh, that was just one thing I wanted to add. And then yeah, presence. And so many amazing people talk about presence, and
mm-hmm,
that's what Jesus talked about, like the I am, like I
mm-hmm,
am that I am.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
The I amness. And
mm-hmm,
that's what we all are. And so if we all come from source and we all come from love, like we all have access to all of the wisdom of
mm-hmm,
Jesus, the Buddha, anything and everything amazing,
mm-hmm,
archangels like within us all the
mm-hmm.
time, all at once.
because I
Yeah.
am all of that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And simultaneously, like we're no valuable than like a speck of dust.
Hmm. I am the speck of dust. I am Archangel Metatron. I am, yeah. Mm.
Yeah, and
Mm.
that's why it's just so fascinating.
Mm.
We're so like in our bodies, there's galaxies within our body.
Hmm.
Like just within our human body, there's
Mm. Mm.
galaxies. And then our human body is like one of billions on this
Hmm.
one rock that's surrounded by other
Hmm.
rocks even bigger.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. Oh, it's
so
epic.
it's
Okay, so now we just hit the peace and we hit the presence, and now talk a little more about pleasure.
so pleasure is, and that's like getting to experience joy and pleasure in all things.
Mm.
Like, sometimes when I feel, if I have like a good sad cry, I'm
Hmm.
like, this feels so fucking
Oh
good.
yeah.
Like,
Hmm.
I love just like,
Hmm. Hmm.
and more recently I was feeling really angry and I was like, this is really fun. Like,
Nice.
I was in my car by myself
Uh-huh.
and I was actually, I don't remember, I was angry at my husband. I was by myself
Uh-huh.
and I was just like, so as you know, sometimes we'll just like leave voice notes and rant, like just to get it out. And I was
Uh-huh.
doing that like in my own channel, not to my husband,
Yeah.
but I was just like ranting, being angry, letting it out. And I'm like,
Hmm.
this is fun. Like I'm just letting this out, this anger out.
Uh-huh.
And I know I fucking love my husband. I
Uh-huh.
know everything's good and well, even though I'm feeling angry as fuck right now.
Yeah,
And it's perfect. It's
yeah.
great. All good.
Mm. And you can even find pleasure in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And then I also believe when we can slow down and be present,
Hmm.
let's just practice something now
Mm.
and
Sure.
even for the
Yeah,
audience.
they can do it
Like
too. Yeah.
so it's just like just connect with what's present right now around you in this moment. Like just notice the amount of pleasure you've been feeling so far
Mm.
in this conversation, the joy that has been happening. And so for you and me, well, just like all the conversations we've had that have led up to this moment with
Hmm.
each other, the house that we get to be in right
Hmm.
now, there's these beautiful plants that I can just tell these plants love and adore us, and we love and adore these plants, right? Is it okay if I kiss your plant?
Yeah. Yes, no.
Is it okay if I kiss you?
Hmm.
And there's just so much richness now. The fact that we have the ability to record a conversation talking about love
Hmm.
and consciousness
Hmm.
and the fact that people want to listen to this
Hmm.
and the fact that anyone you listening to this, you're strengthening these ideas of love and the
Hmm.
consciousness. And when you're doing a service to the world by taking in these messages,
Hmm.
it's like how much more pleasure do you feel now when we just slow down
Hmm.
and acknowledge some of these things?
Mm, absolutely. Mm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I can feel it expand in my body and in my cells and in my vision even. It's like, yeah, so so much to receive pleasure from in with all the senses, with all the knowings, with all the thoughts, all the feelings.
Hmm.
Mm. And to remember that there's availability for that always in every moment. Even in these moments, like you were saying, when we feel really angry or when we feel really sad, like what if we can find pleasure in those moments?
Hmm.
Mm, mm, yeah. Mm. That feels great. I love this. I love this. So we've covered a lot of topics. One of the things that we had talked about prior to jumping on was this concept of 3D, 4D, 5D, and it's one that I have hear people in the spiritual spaces speak about a lot, and it's one that I've never really, gone down that rabbit hole. And I feel like it's something that you do play with, and I'd be curious to hear some of your thoughts about it.
So yeah. So the 5D is very much what we've already been talking about. Like all is well.
Yes.
There's nothing bad happening. Like heaven on earth is already here. It's pure
Mm-hmm.
love.
Mm-hmm.
It's like being able to see everything as pure love.
Mm.
When And one thing that's is like thinking about babies and children. Like when you see children being angry,
Mm-hmm.
you don't, well, maybe you punish them, but you don't lose love
Let's
for
say a
them.
baby, yeah, a baby
Like you
who's
just
angry.
love
It's like
it.
it's perfect,
You
exactly.
love
It's
it.
just life. It's just expression of
And
life
we're
and love.
and just being able to see we all have that in us too,
Mm-hmm.
and we're adults who are more powerful babies, and so right,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not at the same time. Like
Mm-hmm.
think about babies, they just summon so much to them and they don't have to do anything. Like so
Mm-hmm.
that's 5D. Like I don't have to do any work. Like I'm whole, I'm complete, I'm already healed. I don't
Mm-hmm.
need to heal anything. I'm already
Mm-hmm.
perfect, whole, and complete.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to heal. Like I just get to play, have fun. I don't have to work hard.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to work hard at something, like for me, I love to like do handstand training and stuff. Like, yeah, you could say that's hard work, but I'm just doing it for the pure fun of it.
Sure.
And I love challenging myself in that way.
Mm-hmm.
So 3D, and this
That was
is
5D.
that's
We're
5D.
skipping down to three.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
we'll go down to 3D.
Okay.
So 3D is like it's like this is who I am. It's I kind of view 5D and 3D as the same
Mm-hmm.
in a way,
Interesting. Okay.
but the 3D is just not seeing it as pure love, but it's fixed.
Okay.
This is a new lane. The way I'm sharing this with you right now is the first way I've ever spoken about this.
Okay. Cool.
3D and 5D are fixed.
Mm.
Like this is how it is. It's inchangeable.
Mm.
But of course, in the reality, things are changing, but it's all this,
Mm-hmm.
like, of course, like things are moving around, like this
Mm-hmm.
is changing, but it's all pure love and that's fixed.
Okay.
3D is like nothing I do will like help me. Like it's like it can, I can't even talk about it. It's like, people that are really in 3D are probably not investing in like coaching work or going to therapy.
Sure.
Like pretty much anyone listening to this is not living in 3D
Sure.
most of the time.
Sure.
We can all have moments where we have 3D thoughts, just like I can have the 3D
Yeah.
thoughts. I view it as perspectives
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like victim, like if I'm born into a family without money, I'm nothing I can do is gonna help me have money,
Got
no
it.
matter what I do.
Yes.
Oh, my family has diabetes and is overweight. I'm gonna grow up and be overweight.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
nothing I can do.
Yes.
That's 3D. 4D is like the energy of transformation.
Okay.
And it's like,
Moving more into possibility consciousness.
yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so that's like what a lot of like the coaching work is,
Sure.
healing work, like a lot
Helping
of
people move out of 3D into 4D, or at least be in 4D frequency more frequently.
yeah, yeah. And it's usually like, okay, if I change this or if I heal this, if I invest in this course, then I'll be able to get this outcome.
Hmm. Hmm.
Or
Yeah, okay.
it's
There's results. There's
it's like,
a sequence
yeah.
that is meant to yield results.
Yeah, because
Uh-huh.
my life will be better when I have that other outcome.
Sure.
And this is what I want to change about myself so that I can have that
Yeah,
outcome.
so future focused.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Okay. Whereas 5D is back into the present
Yeah,
and all is perfect
it's
right now.
very present, like
Yeah.
moment by moment, like trusting the energy, like doing
Hmm.
what brings me joy,
Hmm.
no matter what the outcome is. Like I'm gonna do this,
Hmm.
whether or not it makes me money.
Hmm.
Like, or yeah, I'm gonna eat this because this is what feels best for me to eat right now.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
And so, what are some of the things that have helped you move more into 5D? I mean, I know you're not always living in 5D, but I see you sometimes in that space, and also what are some practices that help you more frequently see through the spiritual lens and come back into the
Yeah.
present moment?
I feel like more and more like I guess like 80 to 95% of my day, like I'm having the 5D perspective
Wow,
now.
yeah,
Like it's
that's
like
significant.
talking to other people that are in 5D perspectives,
Hmm.
so helpful having conversations with others that are embodying it more
Hmm.
and learning it more.
Hmm.
And it's not about like doing practices to get to 5D.
Yeah, because I would be in the 40. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, interesting.
And so it's right. So
It's
it's
like surrendering into the 5D.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
The biggest thing for me is slowing down, taking deep breaths.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
and because it's so easy to speed up and get caught the next thing, the next thing, the next thing.
Yes.
It's like slow down and like take three deep breaths. Like,
Hmm.
let's just do that real
Okay,
quick.
okay.
And okay, stillness
Hmm.
and simplicity.
Hmm.
Stillness and simplicity have been two of the biggest keys for me.
Hmm.
I think I'm probably going to create a course around stillness and simplicity at some point.
Hmm. Nice.
But I do talk about it in Integrators of Light and Love a lot.
Hmm.
A lot of stillness and simplicity messages.
Hmm.
And so stillness and simplicity. So slowing down is often important for that.
Hmm.
And just remembering who we are. It's like a great
Hmm.
affirmation. It's just like, I know who I am. Like,
Hmm.
just, I am love, all is well.
Hmm.
I am love, all is well.
Hmm.
And some other affirmations I like is, there's no place I would rather be than right here, right now.
Hmm.
Like, there's no place I would rather be than right here, right now. There's nothing outside of me or even inside of me. Absolutely nothing can make me any happier than I
Hmm.
already am right now because I'm
Hmm.
so perfect right now.
Hmm.
Whatever emotions I'm feeling is perfect. Whatever's happening with my bank account is perfect. Whatever people are thinking about me is perfect. Nothing, I don't need anything to change for me to be happier.
Hmm.
So just like these are and it's like, okay, now if I really loved and valued myself right now, and every minute is so precious, how do I want to enjoy the next minute?
Hmm.
What do I want to think about or focus on the next minute?
Hmm.
Do I want to look at the news? Or do I
Hmm.
just want to sit here and keep breathing a little bit
Hmm.
longer? Do I want to go for a walk? And it's a frequency like, and that's why I had to like slow down so I could even like
Tap into
tap
it.
into it more. You see what
Hmm.
I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for inviting the stillness, inviting us to move into that space. Yeah, it's feeling like a beautiful place to start wrapping things up. Is there some final
Hmm.
thoughts or final words that you'd like to share with the listeners today?
Hmm. Um, how is this where people like promote things
You
or
can, but
like
I'll be doing that
share?
in the intro and outro as well. But
Oh,
you're
okay.
super welcome to. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, I should
you're
have asked
fine.
that
No,
beforehand.
it's fine.
Wherever you are, just remember your peace is so important. You experiencing love for yourself, it's so important. It's so great, so helpful, not only for you, but for the planet. Um, yeah, I'm so grateful to be here.
Hmm.
anyone wants to dive deeper with a lot of these principles, Integrators of Light and Love is a great community that I host. And yeah, well, people can find me on Instagram or Facebook, or for gay men who want to master their love lives, I'm a part of a program called Energetic Attraction Coaching, which is phenomenal. And yeah, wherever you are, I just hope you enjoy your next now moment, wherever you are. Yeah.
Yay, beautiful. Thank you so much, Andrew. This has been a true pleasure.
Thank you for having me.